Many thanks to Pandemonium, Fellow Tracks Vanilla servers, Atlas, One Original DayZ servers, Clash Vanilla servers, Sgt. Pepper's DayZ Invasion server, PTC Vanilla servers, the Stronger Best Vanilla community, Sea of Tools Cloud, and Neo Farmer servers for making this video possible. DayZ 1.25 has minimal changes on the surface, but like usual, there are a lot of details to learn about this update, so to get you up to speed with how 1.25 has actually changed DayZ, here are the 7 must-know changes this patch. The SV-98 is a bolt-action sniper firing the same rounds that the Mosin does and accepts the NATO optics only. It has no unique optic, it does slightly less damage than the other bolt-action weapons, and other than the way it looks and the way it sounds, it is a bit meh. I'll do a full guide on this soon, but for now it spawns in tier 3+ military locations on both of the maps. If your music isn't already switched off, ambient music will start playing roughly every 20 minutes for around 3 to 5 minutes depending on the song that gets played, so most of the time this music won't be playing, and the track that gets played is dependent on the time of day and your current location, with some locations such as the Livonia bunker or Tizzy military base playing unique music instead. This music is intended to increase immersion, ranging from steady atmospheric music to spine-chilling Silent Hill vibes, to borderline horror music. The devs have stated that this music is copyright free, but only if you use it under fair use, so basically gameplay or streaming should be fine for this music. This is likely because you can now purchase the DayZ soundtrack on Steam, of which you can hear samples of in this video here. Several guns have completely new sounds in this patch, and the distances at which they can be heard has also been changed. This includes the BK-12 single barrel shotgun, which now thankfully has a separate sound to the new double barrel shotgun sounds. The 133 also has new sounds, and so does the Vega. All of these shotguns used to be heard at a maximum of 1,400 meters, but now it's 2,000 meters instead. Likewise, the crossbow can be heard from further away by players in this patch too. It used to be 25 meters, now it's 50 meters, and has a new sound as well. And finally, for gun sound changes, the M79 grenade launcher has a new sound, but it's heard at a maximum distance of 600 meters like it was last patch. Play action sounds also saw some changes, but most of the actions remain exactly the same distance as before. The sounds that are roughly the same distances are placing an item on the floor, reloading weapons, using rags or bandages, crafting items, chopping and felling trees, and mining. The only significant changes I found were unjamming a weapon and ripping clothes into rags. Unjamming a weapon was 10 meters, now it's around 20 meters, and ripping clothes was around 50 meters at max volume, it's now around 10 meters instead. Other than that, no changes came to the distances at which you can hear actions through walls and floors, so you can still hear them very easily through walls. You can now no longer use items inside containers inside your inventory, so when that container is closed, you cannot access items inside it unless it's in your hands or on the floor. So if you try to reload a magazine from inside a cooking pot, for example, it won't work now. You cannot use the reload button in order to reload that magazine. It's going to act as if that magazine doesn't even exist, and any item on your hotbar inside these containers will get removed when you lose access to that container's items. This applies to every container item in DayZ, so ammo boxes and protector cases too, making the pouches in this update for the plate carrier vest much better, as they are the only 2-layer deep container item that also protects your items and allows you to have access to them still. Items that can attach to clothing attachments such as pistol holsters or a knife into a knife sheath hasn't been changed in this patch, so you can still access them just as easily. Like last patch, there are very few loot changes this patch. On Livonia, for example, the SSG-82 magazine now spawns in all tiers. It used to be tier 2 and 3 only, whereas the vitamin bottle spawns in villages instead of towns now. On China West, there has only been one change to loot, and that's the SSG-82 itself. The rifle used to only spawn in 2, 3 and 4. Now all tiers will spawn this gun, which means you can find this on the coast. As for the more minor changes this update, we now have a crash reporter in the game, so if your game crashes, you have the option to give additional info as to what may have caused the crash, or to help the developers in solving why you're crashing. Players shouldn't get stuck in corners by infected this patch, and door synchronization should be much improved too, but this stuff is really difficult to test, so let the devs know if you still experience player desync bugs. Lowering your weapon after it just raised will happen closer to the object or surface, so when you move away from the object, your weapon will now lower sooner, but other than that, all the other weapon raising mechanics are the same. You can now no longer purchase the Livonia DLC map as it's been merged with the base game of DayZ, making the base game more expensive and giving players that bought Livonia a copy of the DayZ soundtrack as compensation on Steam. So if you never bought Livonia but had the base game of DayZ, you now have Livonia for free. And finally for this patch, there is no character wipe, but maps have been wiped, so your base is gone. This patch was smaller than usual due to 1.24 being larger than usual, with the next patch 1.26 being the major update of 2024, which if you didn't know is the release date of DayZ Frostline expansion, including the new winter map for all platforms that the whole community is super damn hyped for. You can learn more about that here, or check out my theory on how Tanoa will be very similar to this new winter map. As for deleting my channel, I was saved by a Twitter poll, but to tell you the truth, I was never going to delete this channel regardless of the results, for many reasons, but mostly because I'm not crazy. Much like the 10 winners of the giveaway, all winning a copy of DayZ each. Congratulations, thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.